We're going to stick to some current events, real quick here. Now, of course, everybody's been talking about the Monique interview in the Breakfast Club.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And how really nothing got established other than she didn't want to be called Donkey of the Day. And we're going to get into that specifically.
Got to.
But the hip-hop tie to this is that Chance tweeted out, Black women deserve more. I'm with Monique.
Yeah.
Now, on face value, that's great, and I totally understand it. My question, though, is does that mean anything right now where we sit with this situation?
Not really.
Okay.
To me, it's like we got to put some action into that. Like, you understand what she's talking about, but what we doing? How we gonna get there? You know what I'm saying? What's the plan?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I understand what Monique was talking about in the interview, and like the discrimination she was talking about is terrible. We all know that.
Yeah.
But how we gonna get these sisters what they deserve?
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Chance, I feel you with the tweet.
Right.
How does this help? You know what I'm saying? How does that get us to the next step?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Basically, it's like, all right.
Right.
I'm pretty sure every black person, that got some soul about them and care about their brothers and sisters feel Monique.
Right.
But where we go from here?
Right. And I agree. And my first thought was, okay, you're with her, and that could help. That could possibly be something great. Because I think personally, Monique needs Chance's team.
Yeah.
Or a team like them, because they're not moving how they should be moving in 2018.
Not at all.
And I also think her team is literally her and her husband.
From the looks of it.
Right. And if that's true, that's problem number 1 through 5.
Definitely.
Like it definitely is. Like I think I said this before, and I don't know if it was on this podcast or if I just said it in the actual conversation. I mean, even from her videos that she's shooting, that she's creating, not that quality is everything, but you can't be you can't be making videos like you shot with the Rodney King video.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like that was the Rodney King camera out there, and she, hey, my loves, and I want you to boycott, and it's like, you ain't even got HD on your joint. Like, how you
shooting it with an Android?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
4 years ago,
right? You know what I'm saying. Like it looks like, yeah, I know why you want more than 500K. Like I get it,
right?
But but I say that because she does need a photographer. She does need a social media manager. She does need I think another just PR person.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that's gonna step in and be like, no, this is. Hold on, y'all, shut up. What she wants is this,
right.
And then just have that person and negotiate. I don't think. Also, just with how much clout she's gaining, how much exposure, and how much attention, how many eyes she has on her, and I tried to go to her site from her Twitter profile, and it came up like page not found.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's terrible.
Right, you got too many eyes on you right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least, if nothing else, put up an Instagram post of the next date or a flyer or some kind of image for an upcoming show or the play that she's in. I forget the name of it because nobody's promoting it.
Oh, the barbershop.
There you go.
Thing, yeah.
See how it's the barbershop thing?
Yeah.
Like, niggas might go to Netflix and look for Barbershop the movie. Like, no, she wasn't in that.
No,
like, you know what I'm saying? So I think they got the attention and they don't even know what to do with it. So you need like a young person or a young team like the Save Money team and Chance and all them to be like, no, this is what you should be doing right now with that attention.
And now that you got all those eyes on you, this is how we can monetize it or increase your value for the next negotiation type situation.
There you go. Because it's unfortunately a lot of people don't get that you still have to work.
Yeah.
Even when people know you, even when you've won whatever, I mentioned that, somebody obviously didn't have the no matter how great you are, keep working talk with Monique.
They definitely did.
You know what I'm saying? Because and I say that as a person, and I'll count last year. So I'm like in my 9th year of media. You know what I'm saying? 7 working corporately, 6 or 7 working corporately.
Okay.
And sometimes I would get hung up. Like even at race time, it's like, well, look, I want to race for what I just did, and I wouldn't get it sometimes, and then but like I didn't quit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I was told, it's like, well, that's good, but can you do it consistently? Or and then I was told, yeah, you did great. No, you've earned this. Now keep it going. Right. It's like no matter if the answer is yes or no, you still got to keep working. Like it never changed. And my direct boss was very clear on that. So like no matter how good or great we acknowledge that you are, the next year is still coming. So what are you going to do?
It's like anybody that wins a championship or a title or anything, to win it one time is cool. Yeah. But the greats are defined by winning it over and over and over, like the multiple times. Like you have to sustain that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it was tripping me out when she was saying like my movie had made $25 million profit and stuff like that. And it was like she couldn't grasp the concept of, okay, that was cool, right? But what else have you done?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Like she couldn't get that for nothing.
Right, and then she was a supporting member of that movie.
You wasn't even a star.
Exactly. So like, if the budget was set now, and I didn't think of this until I looked at the actual cast. I was like, if that cast was $17 million for that whole movie, you didn't get $500K for that either.
Ooh, yeah.
Because Gabrielle Union is in that joint.
Yeah.
DC Young Fly, not that he's getting
true
that, but I'm saying though, you know what I'm saying? Like it was some other it was somebody else. It's like two other people that marquee actors. Like I'm guessing they would have got $1 million apiece.
She might, yeah, because I think with the Oscar it does come with a heavier bag that she can ask for, but at the same time, it's like, man, you know, if you looking at what Chris Rock and them got and compared to the last thing that you've done, you trying to take a leap on your salary, which is cool if you feel you deserve it, but at the same time.
Right. And see, Danny Glover was in it, Kimberly Elise is in it, Romani Malco is in it. Like, a lot of them was coming off of some fire movies.
Yeah, yes.
Like, Precious is almost a decade old.
Yeah.
Just
real talk.
Right.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. It's like, I mean, resume and decorations, and I get all of that. But Rich Rennick, shout out to Rich Rennick. He was like my first radio instructor, and he was like, what you want to do is you want to build yourself up so much that you don't need a resume.
Exactly.
He was like, people just be like, I'm looking for Cameron, you know what I'm saying? He was like, and I was able to do that. He was like, within a few years, he said, it took some time, but I ended up submitting my resume for one job, and I got that job. And after I had finally left that job, I never needed a resume again.
Okay,
He was like, they just know, call me, I gets it in, I gets it done, and that's a wrap.
Exactly.
I was like,
your name alone is your resume.
Exactly. And I was like, that's the hardest shit I've ever heard. I was like, yo, I got to get there. Like, I want to get into that point where it's like, resume, I don't even have one saved on my computer. Like, sorry, dude.
Like, you know who I am.
Right, but you know me, right? Yeah. Like, let's go. Let's work. So, and I think that has to be taken into account. Now, what I will say is that I do agree with her that Charlamagne shouldn't have gave her Donkey of the Day.
Okay.
I do agree with her on that. And my reason for that is simple. And I wanted to send this to Charlamagne, but there have been so many characters. It would have been so long. He probably wouldn't even have read it. So I just want to put it on the Banging on Lunch Tables podcast, because this is where we get the exclusive content from myself and Mike Jones, you dig? And the reason why he shouldn't have gave her Donkey today is this reason. Because her original premise of why she is not getting the money she is that she feels she deserves is because of gender and racial bias.
Okay.
So when an urban outlet and a black person in the urban outlet comes out against another black woman specifically and be like, nah, you tripping, you dumb for thinking, gender and racial bias exist in this situation, you open the door for that white sector, that white man be like, nah, we're not being racially and genderly biased. Okay. We just don't want to give this to you.
Okay.
And then and you grade the area of racism still exists. The politics in Hollywood that definitely does exist. Like I mean, like, look, Sterling K. Brown was the first black man to win the Oscar and I think a Tony or something like that and that's 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
So black people are still the first to do something. Tiffany Haddish was the first black female comedian to host Saturday Night Live. That happened this year.
Right. That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So how can we say it was never a racial or a gender bias for SNL for a black woman to host? Like, Whoopi Goldberg never hosted?
Yeah. That's nuts, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know, hey, Monique never hosted.
True.
When she was on fire, she never hosted. Like, so we got to be careful with how that is going to look to the other side. And I'm not trying to cause a divide by saying the other side, but when you have just like, you know, I mean, because this is Fox News' whole agenda. Oh, no, race, you're just right. Sensitive.
Right, okay.
Racial bias doesn't exist anymore. You guys can do anything you want. Like, and the thing is, where now, granted, we can disagree, and I do disagree, that I don't think that, like, Netflix did not, I'm on record, I don't think Netflix did not give her the money because of racial or gender bias.
Okay.
However, with that being her complaint, you basically told her as a black woman that her feelings are invalid about the situation.
Okay. Now, this is how I looked at it. I appreciate that point of view because I was really like, what is it about this donkey of the day that's really bothering Monique?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is it just the fact that she got called a donkey of the day, or like, was it just that?
Right.
But the way you just broke that down did open my eyes to it. And the comment that she left at the end, I don't know if you've seen it on Charlamange's page, talking about 12 Years a Slave when he walked the wife into the master's house and then had to go back and go get her after he was done with her. Like, now I get that. The fact that he basically put her on Front Street with those feelings. My only thing was, to me, that wasn't Charlamagne's intention.
Right.
Even though you do have to be careful of what you do in the public spaces.
Right.
That wasn't his intention. He was basically saying what we all were thinking. Like, fam, you bugging. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
And the one thing I always defended Charlamagne about, because I had my discussions with this too, it was, you can't always play that card because that damages, and Charlamagne even said it, that damages the other people when it's a legitimate fact of, yo fam, we got racism out here, or it's gender bias going on because I'm a woman, or whatever the case may be. And I think that's where Monique was playing herself. And throughout the interview, the fact that she couldn't like grasp onto that or didn't even want to concede kind of just made it for a long ass talk about nothing. At the end of the day, they talked for 45 minutes and kept going in circles. It was just like she was up there to clown him, basically. You know what I'm saying? By calling him his first name, which I thought was disrespectful. And it's funny to me that, oh man, it's funny to me to see how social media or parts of Black Twitter or the Black delegation, whatever you want to call it, were grasping onto that like that was a victory. It was like, nah, man, she kind of clowned it. And she making herself look bad when you could have just went up there and had a civil discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
About all that.
Or let it been clear that it was Venom and y'all just argue from the gate for 10 minutes and then get it out the way.
And been done with it.
And then have a real conversation and a real interview, because, I mean, honestly, they played the game of, well, who was more wrong? You know, because like it was like, well, they offered you this, but y'all didn't counter offer, and you didn't say, well, I want this instead. And again, that's moving in 2018. And I mean, Monique is an elder in the game, so maybe she is just used to the, hey, this is what I want, yes or no. It ain't no renegotiation. It ain't no should I have to tell you that I want this much? But but hey, I was also always taught you get what you negotiate.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So and I heard that from an OG older than both of me and Monique. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really understand how that didn't come into play. Again, I just think it's poor Team Monique management overall. Like, just from top to bottom, it's like, man, they gotta get used to moving in 2018, where unfortunately everything moves so fast that nothing fucking matters. And
something I also seen, the way Monique approached the interview, I can see why people call her difficult. You know what I'm saying? Or would say she's hard to work with. Even in instances where she would be right and would be standing up for somebody who's being disrespected on set or what have you, whatever the incident may be, the way she kind of like portrays herself, and it's like, and it ain't even about being a strong black woman or none of that, because it's ways to pull all of that off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without coming across basically being an asshole,
right?
Which was to me what she was doing. It was like, like, come on, man, you would get your point across way better if you weren't trying to pull the bullshit that she was pulling. Yeah. Like, I basically wrote a status. I was like, Monique was on good bullshit. Like, the whole, like, the first 10 minutes. I can see why J.R. Bank didn't make it through the beginning of it. Yeah. It was like, she on good bullshit. Like, do most of this interview, fam. Like, if you lighten up, or not even lighten up, if you just bring it down a notch and just try to have the conversation instead of, like, she was already up there defensively. Like, we about to argue or spar. You know what I'm saying? It could have came across way better. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And the worst thing is to put yourself in a position where you want to defend yourself, but yet you have a great cause, but yet I want to get at your ass for this other shit too. Like, it was so much going on, and like a lot of it got lost in translation. And honestly, it wasn't until Chance had said something on Twitter where I really came up with the revelation. I was like, man, but you know what? This is bad. This is bad for the black delegation business moving forward. Okay. And I was like, and I see why he with her, because, you know, and I would say, you know, black people, black delegation, we did kind of vilify Monique as a whole, as all of us. I'm not saying every single one of us, but it's probably like 51-49 is like the percentage.
Yeah, definitely.
Half of us like, man, nigga, you crazy. Why you want this? Why you think you earned this? Why? And then it's like, but who are we to tell her what she deserved or whatever? And I was like, but, and I tried to remove color and gender all out of it, and it was like, look, I didn't see Almost Christmas.
Me neither.
The last thing I thought you did was Precious.
Exactly.
So that's why I was like, well, I don't, and I follow comedians. I haven't seen you tell a joke in over a decade, personally, me.
And I haven't seen anybody go to your shows or talk about Monique is coming, none of that.
Right, because I mean, I even asked her, and she actually responded to me on Twitter. I was like, hey, I haven't seen you do comedy in a while. And some other dude was like, she do shows every weekend, and they're packed out. And I was like,
where?
Right. I was like, but that would be good information to be putting on your social media platforms so people wouldn't think you're so crazy for asking for more than $500,000 for a Netflix special. So,
or even the statement that she even went on the Breakfast Club and reiterated, and I'm surprised nobody challenged on it, was the whole "I'm the most decorated comedian alive" thing. Right. I'm like, oh, so you just gonna say that again?
Right.
And I was super surprised, like Charlamagne, Angela, none of them said anything.
Right.
Because that I'm assuming so. No, all of the knowledge that I have on Kevin Hart and Whoopi Goldberg and her accomplishments and whatnot. How are you the most decorated? What are you talking about? Where's the numbers of proof to back this up? Like, you've done great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exceptional. But where's the rest of it? Like, what are you talking about, fam?
Exactly. Hey, I mean, I'm guessing, and this is no knock to this award, but I'm guessing that she has won every single NAACP Image Award, every like Essence Award that she possibly could have won, and then she won an Oscar. And if we went to everybody's trophy case, she may have more. Like, granted, and I'll throw it out here like this, and this is why success is always subjective as well.
Okay.
She may have a mantle of 50 awards on her in her mantle, right, in her home. I don't know if Kevin Hart has won anything.
Ooh, okay.
But Kevin Hart is already the highest grossing comedian ever. Because he's doing stadiums.
Come on, man. Sold out a football field.
Yeah, so what do you want to have? Do you want an award or do you want the ticket, as they say?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
You know, like, that ain't even the bag. Irv Gotti said that's the ticket. Like, a ticket is $1 million. He said, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I want the ticket. Fuck these awards. I don't give a fuck. Like, what is this little thing? Like, this is okay, yeah, cool. In 2018, I was the shit. But
because you could win an award and end up pawning that shit 10 years later.
Thank you. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, and not that having nice trophies aren't, you know what I'm saying, a thing, but it's like, I mean, these your decorations didn't get you your bag.
No, not at all.
So, I mean, hey, look, be who you want to be. Just make sure you're very good at it. Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, like, so this is, I think it's a wake up call to everybody. What do you deem as success? I mean, is it the awards? Is it the money? Is it the exposure? Is it the resume? Like, it's all. Ooh. I mean, because all of it really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, where people are so mad at Kevin Hart playing the same guy in every movie, but he keeps getting booked.
He's working.
Because he's a draw. Like, he is a draw. Like, Kevin Hart didn't do Almost Christmas. He did a movie with The Rock. I didn't see that either. He did Ride Along 1 and 2. I ain't seen neither one of them either. But I tell you what, I follow him on Instagram, and he always on the road to another destination to get another paycheck.
Always flying on a private jet.
Bruh.
All the time. And got a team that he take care of.
Right. And other black comedians he employs. He's got his own streaming comedy network on the way, the LOL joint, which I also told her to reach out to do. She didn't answer that question though.
I'm saying.
So I mean, hey. So you know what? I mean, hey, you know that was a good start. But what next though? And I think, you know, she needs to possibly get a little further deep into this hip hop culture. Because, you know, hip-hop culture is pop culture. Right. It's American culture right now. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got a young, hot, and charitable guy like Chance and his team, like, just bigging you up and saying they stand with you. Again, you got, I mean, Kevin Hart is hip-hop to me. Yeah, so Kevin Hart, the #1 comedian in the world right now, whether you laugh at him or not. You know, and that's no disrespect to Dave Chappelle, because Dave Chappelle is definitely, I'll say he's definitely 2. Only because, and I would say 1A, but the thing is, Kevin Hart can get shit done in Hollywood that I think no black man has been able to in a minute, and that might just because of his relationship with The Rock.
Definitely, I can say that.
You know what I mean?
And on top of that, Kevin Hart is safer.
Like,
his comedy is safer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's still, like, he still curses and can be vulgar and all that, but his subject matter, he talk about himself.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle go get up there and talk about the president, the situation that's going on with black folks, all that. He gonna talk about that shit. So of course, like, yeah, man, Kevin Hart is #1 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, hey, nothing wrong to attaching to some more black excellence to keep your excellence driving and thriving.
Yeah.
Don't be too proudful to the point that you think, well, I've done more than this person has, or I've been around longer, so that ain't, I don't got to fuck with him. That's not how this game works.
Nah, because you definitely gonna end up needing him.
Exactly.